Washington says it's studying the next measures it would undertake to deal with the engineered crisis. So, problem, reaction, solution, and engineered crisis. So they're creating the problem, and of course they have the solution that will be divvied up by the CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, the RAND Corporation, and all these different types of think tanks. And I just caught this. Look at what they call it: towards a Syrian-led political transition. Well, let's see, if Russia's trying to not intervene here so that Syria can decide its own fate, then it's not a Syrian-led political transition if these guys, these superpowers, want to come in here and force it on them, right? That it's not Syrian-led, it's global government-led. So catch this, guys. This kind of just verifies what I was saying. Syria has said that violence has been remarkably stepped up since the arrival of the United Nations observers. So I keep seeing this article about without shunning aside military options, without shunning aside military options. So either it's going to be a kind of a quick regime change, or they're going to get declared no fly zones and humanitarian corridors and all kinds of crazy stuff. Intelligence experts, NATO has options on Assad. And it goes on here and it says that a former Israeli intelligence chief has said EU and NATO countries can do more on Syria than complaining about Russia or imposing sanctions. So it goes on and it says here that Assad's generals, secret police, and diplomatic corps are still loyal and important minorities. That outside the country, Russia, Iran, Shia Muslims in Iraq, and Shiites and Christians in Lebanon also want Assad to stay. While the West has been saying for the past year it cannot do to Assad what it did to Libya's Colonel Gaddafi because Russia is refusing to give it a UN mandate. So check this out. It says, but the Israeli contact believes the West does not need UN permission to make Assad loyalists think a tsunami is coming to sweep him away. So kind of like psychological warfare. Potential measures include moving a NATO aircraft carrier to the eastern Mediterranean. They've already kind of started to move stuff like that. They already have U.S. troops in Israel, I believe. It says here, Turkish military exercises on the Syrian border. They've had a big, huge one on in Jordan on the Syrian border. 14,000 troops or something like that, training for Syria. Moving Turkish army divisions to the border. Turkey has like their own little FEMA camps outside there too, right on the border. Conducting NATO reconnaissance flights in Syrian airspace, i.e. possibly reconnaissance drones, sending messages to Assad's generals via intelligence contacts that the world is serious about regime change. And what they're doing, remember I covered this before, the rebels, or whoever it is, they're actually posting members of this administration, basically the Syrian government, they're posting them, politicians and businessmen, they're posting their names and their personal information on Facebook. I mean, everything, their phone number, their address, and ordering to kill them. These are the rebels that are calling this, the peaceful activists. And finishing up, he says that Assad, if he knows that if he uses chemical weapons today, then the end is tomorrow. So, and he uses what? The West own little puppets, Saddam Hussein, remember, where Rumsfeld and them shaking hands and arming him with all those biological weapons that they gave him, right? And it says here, Israeli citizens were issued a gas mask during the Gulf War, but nothing happened, right? Right? They didn't do it. Just like in Libya, where they said, oh, he's got those frog missiles, the intercontinental frog missiles that Gaddafi had. He was gonna, unleash chemical warfare. Well, he didn't. No, a lot of times it's either it's like Western countries like the United States